Hello Loud TV, this is Tom from Evergrey. You're watching Loud TV, keep on doing that for the rest of your fucking lives. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we could have made this album without making the last album, for sure. I think this album, we wanted to create a different feeling, a feeling of desolate eeriness, loneliness, and darkness, I guess. And I think the production on its own creates that sort of feeling. It's a cold first impact you have. But then, of course, we add all these organic elements like my voice, of course, and the girls' voices and the choir voices, and you know, the violins and whatever. So, which is needed to make this album not be too cold and too digital, I guess. Well, I mean, the female vocals has always been with Evergrey on every album. So, but I mean, of course, for this album we have I'm doing the duet with my wife again for one song, which we did like 20 years ago too, but also Flora Jansen from Nightwish is on the album, and a lot of women on the album actually. The violin players are and cello players are women, and the choir girls are women. So it's great. It's a nice, even out human album, I guess. Louder? Yeah, I think it's a more violent album than the last one, in a way. I think the last one was a fantastic album that we managed to create, our 9th album. I'm super proud of it. And I think it was very much a gentle listen for people. It was not that much that sort of scared you or threw you off your feet, other than that people really loved the songs. But it wasn't a dangerous album at all. I think this album is a bit more violent, maybe a bit more, very much more dark album. Yeah, I think this albums you have to have courage to listen to it. Don't be a coward and listen once and say, hey, this is shit. I think what I have perceived with the albums that stay with me for a very long time, as with actually Hymns for the Broken did too, is that this album we didn't want to... It would have been easy for us to do Hymns for the Broken Part 2, and then we would probably have failed, because it's an album that has to stand on its own. But we wanted to make something that made people think a bit more outside the box, in a way. The song structures are more difficult, as you say, but the choruses are all there. Every chorus is like on the last album. But yeah, this is our cinematic album, so we wanted to have that approach. You know, everything is not McDonald's. We wanted to be, you know, have it a longer chain of thoughts, I guess. Production, yeah, we recorded it in different studios in Gothenburg where we live, both in our band studio and in our own individual home studios for the vocals, and West Coast Lodging for the vocals as well. And then we recorded the more part of the drums and bass. We recorded that Stora Teatern and a studio there, which is in the same place where we recorded the DVD like 12 years ago. In the basement of that theater, we recorded the drums and the bass and the guitars. And then we mixed it in Denmark with the same guy who mixed the last album, Jacob Hansen. So yeah, same team, new music. We were so caught up in the inspiration from the last album and the reception that we had on that, and that you know, people loved what Evergrey did and really understood it all of a sudden, that we just kept on going, and so far the reception for this album has been the same, even though it's not as easy digestive as the last one. It's
Okay.
I think that's a quality actually. The that you don't understand something immediately. It's like reading a book in a way. You can't get the book from the first 2 pages, you know. So there's a line on the last song, of course, where I sing, "There's not a sound, just a storm within." And when I wrote that line, I thought of how many people walk around in the world not showing on the outside what's going on the inside. And there can be World War III going on in here without you knowing, and people needs to, especially in the fucking world today. I mean, we're in Paris today. Horrific things happened here. I feel that people in the world are getting desperate, and desperation is cause for horrible actions, and because people don't see any other way out. So it's everything from a society problem to the individual therapeutic problem. So it's a concept album about the lack of love, I guess. It's our first love album. It sounds weird, but it's the truth. But it's about relationships. It's about breakups. It's about losing yourself and having to try to piece yourself together after being in a 2-human relationship and going into one. It's about the irregularities. It's about the anger. It's about the sorrow. It's about the pain. It's about finding the light again and grasping onto something new and moving forward. He's a good friend of mine. He's one of the guys in the world that really understands my vision, Evergrey's vision, and comes from a perspective very much like myself. We were born and raised in the same neighborhoods, and we have the same outlook on the world, basically. So he really understands me, and he understands where I want to go, and he has the knowledge and the power and the know-how of how making this come true. And so he said that for this album we should go to Iceland to make all this imagery and creative ideas come through, because that's what we had in mind from the beginning. So we have just been there for a week, almost, like 4 or 5 days, and shooting videos. It's extremely privileged. It looks insane. I can't wait for people to see it. But I mean, conceptually, it's like the same, pretty much, like the King of Eras. We keep on walking, but we walk in very desolate places, and try to convey the story in the best possible way. That's great. I mean, I guess they are fans of Evergrey too, so they were really stubborn on getting us on this tour. So we had to say yes in the end, and we're super happy to be on it. I think it's a great package. I think it's an audience that maybe Evergrey has not approached that much, and also for the Delane fans, it's for the Delane band. It's also great for them to play for the Evergrey fans, because I think that we have followers that can like either band. So.